go.
Happy Monday! Welcome
We're
back
here.
to
Back at
another episode of the astoundingly awesome Get Found
and be seen. Yes, sir. We're here.
Right. That is right. We're all trying to get found and be seen.
That's right.
One way, shape, or another. And there's so many roads to get there.
Glad you said that. That is so true. Very important to understand that. Multiple
Not
roads.
only that, but the level is different.
Yeah.
You have different ways of getting there, and then there might be the little fishing hole way up in the hills. There might be Las Vegas.
Or
I just like to
Colorado.
point that out. People think getting found and being seen means, oh, I've got tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers. It's like, well, I mean, if you have, you're being seen, you're getting found. There's more to it than just that. It's kind of like money. Like having a bunch of money doesn't necessarily make you happy.
Right.
So
true, Moby.
In today's episode, we're going to explore the relationship between a well-developed brand and personal confidence.
I like that.
That seems to be your jam. Thought we'd spread it on some toast and see what we came up with.
Spread it on some toast and also listen to a jam. All about the jams.
Jam with Monty. Okay, so first off, I always like to point out that it's the missed step in the entrepreneurial journey of the developing your brand before you go do anything else. So the first step is just identifying, a short description of what you do.
Yeah.
And I like to link that to the self-confidence part for myself, because when someone asks you, hey, what are you up to? What do you do? If I have to stumble, think, or pause at all, it's almost like confidence is a monetary system. It's like I have to spend my confidence in that circumstance. It's like, whoa, hang on. I got to give you some of my confidence while I round up those answers.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, now I'm depleting my confidence. And now, I've got the catch-22 situation. When I have a well-defined, here's what I'm doing, here's what I do, here's what I'm up to, the answers to those questions, if I have those well-defined and I don't have to think about them because I'm developing them, it's not a, oh yeah, I wrote that down one time.
Yes.
It's that developing it during your journey. So that way, as you evolve, you can clearly state, hey, here's where I've evolved to. And then it feels a lot more confident to just, hey, what do you do? Oh, I'm helping busy solopreneurs, with simplified strategies so that they can save time and brain power.
Right. Yeah. I love that. And I love that the fact that you said it's not just a one-time thing. It's a constant journey. And it's, you're constantly developing. That's how I love that, because it's so organic and natural, because that's how it is with life, right? We're constantly growing and developing and getting new perspectives. And when we're interacting with people, we're learning new things, not just teaching and offering the value. We're receiving as well. So that's dead on what you said, Monty.
And even more so in our wonderfully accelerated world of change, even when one doesn't want to change, resistance is futile.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can resist if you want, but come talk to me in 6 months.
Well, I mean, just the differences with, I need to go fly somewhere. Well, you have to have a different kind of ID than you used to. Okay. So if you're in the past and you're not up to date, then you can't go fly now.
Right.
So now you got to change. Oh, now I got to go and do that thing.
Yeah.
Like my bank, or my car loan bank changed their platform. And so they informed me, hey, you need to go to this site and sign up and put in all your information all over again and create a whole new account with us. What? But I already did all that work. Now I have to go and do that work again.
Right.
I don't really have much of a choice, because it's like, do you want to pay your loan? Well, yeah, I don't want it to go into default. Okay, well, then you need to create the account so you can pay your loan. Isn't that your responsibility? Nope, that's mine now. Okay. Got it. Yeah, it's a constant journey. Constant. So only the things that you can control. At least, let me back that up. I'm trying to focus on the things that I can control.
Right.
Vortex off into all these things beyond my control, and woe is me, and poor me, and pity me, and it's so easy. Human nature. It's not my fault. Pointing the finger, giving the finger.
Right. Hello. True. That's interesting you said this.
Well, I can control how I define myself, how I define my brand. In my circumstance, I am my brand. My brand is me. Other places, maybe you have a faceless brand. So, but you still want to develop the brand, and you still want to be able to articulate to people confidently.
Right. It's interesting you said that too, Monty. I was diving into this book called Let Them by our friend Mel Robbins.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great book, by the way, I'm not an affiliate, but I'm just saying it's a fantastic book. And that's one of the things, not specifically with the brand, actually alludes to that a little bit, but the whole idea of, in those situations let them, but let me do my part. And what does that let me do my part look like? What does that look like for me on an every day-to-day basis? But for me, I felt like I took it a step further, or it motivated me to think, even with my brand, how can I accelerate my thinking in that area of where can I be the next step? Where, keep my ears to the ground. Where can it potentially be in the next few months? What will it look like? And it kind of reminded me of that quote by Wayne Gretzky. I'm gonna jack it up, but it talked about how, you follow the puck where it goes. If you can follow the puck where it goes, you see that direction, you can go in that direction, or at least look and start planning in that direction. But if I'm taking ownership, how much more hungry will I be to do that? How much more farther along will I be and be able to help people in a higher level as well? So I'm happy you talked about that. Yeah. Kind of reminded me of that.
Ties together. Not to go too far off with that, but where the puck goes. I like that. Not following the puck. It's that mindful looking ahead on the journey. So let's apply this to what we're talking about, is that you're developing throughout the journey, and you can't just stay in the same pattern all the time. So you can see where the puck's heading, and you can go to where the puck's going, rather than just following behind, struggling, always trying to catch up with it. Cut it off at the pass.
Right. I mean, you could take a look and see, and it's not, you're not looking right down, like below your belly button. You're looking further along, straight forward. And I think that's very essential.
I like that. I want to apply that to what I was saying with if you want to build your confidence, develop your brand. That way, when someone asks you, hey, what do? You can easily articulate that. And now you can apply that thinking of, well, where am I going? So maybe what I want to be describing to somebody is not what I've been up to and what I've been doing, but it's where I'm heading.
Yeah, I like.
That's that's for myself. I love that thought. I want to be mindful of that and say, that's actually something I think I've struggled on. What are you doing? What do you do? Oh, what have I been doing? Thinking about the past.
Right.
What am I doing now? What am I going to be doing? That
Right.
seems more action orientated. So I like it.
Right. And then with that, you have to be really, I've been using the term as a presence developer. I need to be audience aware. Now we talk about, self-awareness. You need to be audience aware because some of your audience will be ready for that and will get excited. Some won't be. Some
So that's
you got to take them where they're at.
Right. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's really
Yeah.
cool to say, because now we can take your brand and apply that and say, well, what's the relevant experience that I have? It's the relevant part. That's what's important. So that way now, hey, what do you do? Oh, hey, part of it's the past. What have I been doing? Now I want to apply that part of what am I going to be doing into that, so it's more action orientated. But it's still,
Right.
it's like, okay, well, my experience helps me do where I'm going. So that way I'm confident about that. Why should I listen to you? Nobody really typically says that straight out to you, but we think they are asking that internally. And if that thought crosses our mind, that can definitely cost us some confidence. We got to spend some confidence on that thought.
Oh,
So rather
yes.
than having to do that, we can just have that well-developed idea, currently developed idea. I really like that. Currently developed.
Currently developed. I like that. That's
the now.
solid.
That's based on my
That's solid.
experience, which is what we're talking about, the relevant experience.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the relevance here. We don't want to just say, hey, I've got this and this and this and this and this and this, because it's cool and it adds up and it may have threads of relevance, but we really want to be that concise, that because I want to be confident. I don't need to give them a list of things. It's like, bam, bam, maybe 3, because humans like 3, but it's like not much. I just need to say, hey, I've been up to this. I'm doing this now, and this is what I'm going to be doing. Ooh, I like that.
Solid. Solid. I love that, Monty. That is solid.
So there's confidence boosting in your brand. That's really interesting. The other aspect that I really like about having that currently developed brand, and I'm going to lock onto that, is knowing your unique selling proposition. So then you apply your experience.
Yeah.
And then being audience aware, like you said. Right. It's like, okay, so what is it for me? Which gap am I bridging? Which thing that other people are overlooking? Which belief busting idea am I presenting here? What is it that makes me so much more unique? So that way I'm super confident. Nobody can say, yeah, well, what about so-and-so? They're doing that.
Right. Doesn't matter.
Not like me. Yep. No, they're not. They're doing their thing. Man, I'm confident when I can say that.
That's right. When you know it yourself, we talked about audience awareness. You're self-aware. If you're self-aware and you're brand aware of your brand, you're confident. You show up confidently, man. You know what you have, and you. What I love too, Monty, about it is that you show up excited. You geek out about what you do because you know it's going to serve people on a high level, and no one can do something like you do it. And if you can show up as that authentic self, man, you're going to impact people.
Hey. I like that show. Yeah. And then that forward thinking, applying the currently developed as part of the where am I heading? Who am I going to be helping? How am I going to be helping them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's the excitement, that action orientated that helps me, or that I should say, since we're discovering this and discussing this is going to help me be even more excited about moving forward. And also less apprehensive when I'm approaching someone new and you know that they're going to ask you, what do you do? Man, before I had any kind of a developed brand, I really struggled. Because then it was like, I've been doing this and I've been doing that, because you've been doing a variety of stuff. So it's difficult to wrap that up in a nice, neat package.
Right. It's reality, right?
My currently developed thing is like, right now, based on this one thing that I was doing, I'm doing this so that way I can do this next thing, the next level, the next step.
Mm-hmm. The next step, huh?
Yes, that next step. It might be a half step,
Yep.
but that's
Yep.
okay. It might be a full-on rappelling step. I'm climbing up, well, not rappel is going down, but
Right.
you might climb up a mountain, might be your step. Some people
But it's a
can
step.
take bigger steps than other people. And at different points in the journey, there are different heights of steps. So
Yeah. Right.
that's a whole other confidence related
Yeah.
topic in the
And
journey.
this whole confidence thing is deep because, like I meant, if you're excited about what you're doing, you're gonna have that confidence. Even if you're not confident, you're so excited that it comes across as confidence. You're so passionate about it. You're excited about it. There's a level of confidence with that trails along. If you have those
Absolutely.
elements, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. There's
Oh,
that.
man.
Hey, what do you do? Oh man, I've been up to this. Right now I'm doing this so that I can do this next thing. That they're not provided, you're not providing them a very good opportunity to, make you spin confidence.
Hmm.
You don't have to think of it. You covered it all. They don't have any
Yeah.
more questions. What have you been up to? Covered that. What are you doing now? Covered that. What are you going to be doing next week? Covered that.
Yeah.
What else well, how are you going to make that happen? Oh man, I can make it happen so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to answer the question.
Right.
I've got options.
Options. And I like how you put that. I saw what you did right there. I saw that, Monty. You put a little board between the steps. You put a little board for the structure to be strong. You said, so that I can blank. That was cool.
That's I think that was an automatic reaction on just thinking ahead. Thinking that journey. Here it is. Here's what I've been doing. Here's what I'm doing now. Here's where I'm going. Like it.
Yeah. We're feeling. Hey. Good God. Hey.
So back to the USP, the unique selling proposition. That part where you can latch on and say when they ask you the next questions about, well, what's that? What do you mean you're doing this or that? What do you mean you're coaching people? What do you mean you're providing this course?
Right.
Especially some of your friends and family. But when it's a brand new person and you need to explain stuff and they say, oh, you mean like Tony Robbins does? Well, that's that right there could cost you a lot of confidence. You could be spending a lot of confidence trying to make up Tony Robbins. Holy moly.
Right.
But if you got a currently developed brand, it's like, well, yeah, sort of in some ways. But his journey went in a different direction than what I've got here. Or maybe it's yeah, but Tony's missing out on this thing for these people. And these people are missing out, so I'm helping them.
Mm-hmm. Ah, nice.
And every name, every big person, Mel Robbins, Russell Brunson, I don't care what the big name is. There are groups of people that are like, that's not the right thing for me.
Right. We've seen it.
So
even
your unique selling proposition is where the people say, that's the right thing for me. It's not even what you're teaching, because you can find what you're teaching. And there's nothing. I like this, what I read the other day. There has been nothing new invented in the last 15 years. Absolutely nothing new. Everything that has been invented is merely a better version of something that was already there. Or we now have the technology to actually assemble the thing that they've been trying to do for a long time, which means it's finally accomplished, but it's not invented. They didn't just now think of it.
Right.
There's too many people on the planet to say, well, I'm the first person to think of that for the most part. I think quantum physics is going to be the area of place where actual new things might come in. Although they've already thought about it. So how new is it?
They're talking about it at least.
But there's where the unique selling proposition comes in. There's nothing new. So how do we package? How do we present? How do we target an audience? Without being in this huge battle with all these other people trying to do the exact same thing.
Right.
And that's where the unique selling proposition comes in, and it tweaks it off where you're not doing the exact same thing anymore. If you really
Mhm.
want to really come up here into the high level of everything, everybody's just trying to sell themselves using communication.
Right. It's what it
So
is.
let's if everybody's just trying to sell themselves using communication, how do you stand out from that?
Right. So
Well, I'll
true.
use communication differently. I'll sell myself differently. I love saying that phrase because it's so controversial. Selling myself. I don't sell myself. I sell gizmos and widgets.
Go there.
Yes, yes, you do.
Yeah.
And I would argue, there's always the exception. There's people out there that they aren't part of the sale thing themselves. They're kind of the facilitator of it. But
Right.
a true salesperson, the people that they say, "Hey, that guy can sell ice to an Eskimo," that type of a salesperson, they
Right.
are selling themselves first.
Yeah. Personal brand, man.
Because if you're turned off by the person, you're not going to buy what they're selling.
Right.
Not unless,
Very-
I mean, that there are exceptions. If you're dying of thirst in the desert and some jerk comes along and offers you water for some stupid price, you'll pay it.
Mhm.
But for the
And
most
that
part,
pain is so strong. And that
when
pain is
we
so
have
strong. Well,
options,
options. I love the overall idea you're talking about, Monty. That's important as far as a lasting brand, a solid brand, a lasting brand that's going to meet the needs of people. It's so key to think about all of these elements and being excited about it and having that connection with, your unique selling proposition, your personal brand, you being excited about it, but knowing what that audience needs, giving it to them with you being an excited personal brand. It's a good combination.
yes, and having that currently developed. And when I say
Yeah.
currently developed, I actually have a mind map with the stuff on it. So when I am going to be going on to a group call and I know I'm going to get asked those questions, I go review it. I go make sure it is current. Once again,
Right.
that target audience, because I'm going to be going into a specific group. Now I can make sure, hey, the thing that I normally say is that relevant? Is that the right thing? Is that the current thing? Is that what I want to say? Can I say that without spending any confidence? Can I keep all my confidence and say that? And then when they have any question that they may have after that is easy peasy. That's what I'm looking for. Because that's the dread. Somebody's going to ask me a question and I'm going to be umming and stumbling and stuttering and oh my gosh, I just spent half my confidence right there thinking about it, and I didn't even get in the call yet.
I love what you said, though, Monty. Spending your confidence.
That's how I envision it. When someone asks me the question, if
Yeah.
I am not able to just answer the question confidently, therefore every is a buck of confidence.
Ooh.
Every pause where I'm stumbling over what am I trying to say? Every time I repeat myself, every time I stumble like I am right this moment because I'm coming up with the stuff right off the bat, but I'm excited and this is a new topic we're talking about. So I'm not feeling like I'm losing confidence on it because we're exploring.
Right.
But if I was
Exploring.
talking about myself and describing what do I do? How do I help people? And I'm stumbling over that. And that has been a big stumbling block for me for a long time. That's why I love talking about it right now, because now I can say I've got it in a little form. I could go pull it up if I forget. I've got it.
Right. I love that. Love it. Little side note. Spending confidence versus exploring. Okay, push it to the side.
Right. One, you're following the puck. The other one, you are going to where the puck's going. It's that intentful, just, hey, let me map this out a little bit based on where I've been, where I'm at, and a little bit of the future.
Right.
I can navigate so much more clearly.
Right. And knowing where the people are at, you have the data and they're giving it to you,
Well,
I tell
let's
people.
wrap some of that up. Creating a short description of what you do is a basis for having a strong level of confidence, of building that confidence bank up. Having some documentation about your relevant experience, which also, like you said, points towards your target audience so that your relevant experience can be tailored with your description towards your target audience. And when you have that lined up, that right there is almost the what I was doing, what I'm doing, where I'm going. Boom, congruent. I'm confident. And then knowing that unique selling proposition. Why you? Why,
Yeah.
aren't you doing what Jim Edwards is doing? Well,
Mm.
once again, yes, I'm trying to sell myself using communication, but I'm doing it in my own unique way.
Yeah. Boom. I have nothing to add to that. That's perfect. That's great.
And that's the keeping it simple. Document your own brand, develop your own brand. It's an ongoing process, and
Yeah.
that can help you keep your confidence bank account full.
So you don't have to spend it.
That's right. At least you don't have to spend it on that.
Right.
We got enough stuff out there that saps my confidence away.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude, we gotta have a conversation about that sometime. That I love that, spending your confidence.
Yeah, we could actually
Wow.
list out a whole number of things that are things that steal your confidence. Sometimes you're not spending it; it's actually being stolen from you. All right, that's another topic.
Yep. Another topic. Good stuff, man.
Well, great. If you would like a little bit more on that topic, we can provide some extra info. Just join the Copy and Content Secrets Facebook group. That's where I reside most of the time, and Carl's going to come hang out with me more often. I'm going to prod him until he does. But you can go to copyandcontentsecrets.com. If I can get this banner to work, there it is.
Boom. Hey.
Copyandcontentsecrets.com. That is where you can find myself and Carl. Soon there will be some new material in that Facebook group on this topic. This is where we'll discuss it in more detail because we don't have enough time to discuss all the aspects here.
I know. I need so many hours in the day. But in the group, we got time.
That's right. That is right. Well, enjoy your Monday. Have a great week. And until next time, develop your brand.
Develop it. Be on that journey.
See you next time.